Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to kick off your day, your week, wherever you're catching in time. This is the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for November 29th, 2021. Also being timeless. So wherever you're catching in time, it could be really relevant. I see a new opportunity coming up that is going to provide a lot of growth for you, and it's going to happen really fast. It does feel materialistic. It does feel like it is something that is tangible, physical. And it's going to involve having to make either a lot of calls or a lot of communication with a particular or a group of people in your life. But it feels like there's a lot of solid ground with this, and it's going to be something that continues on long-term as around us. It feels almost like you're either building some sort of an empire in your life, or you are really building a solid foundation that is going to be less worrisome, that is going to be for you and whatever stems from you. So all around, this is a great start to the reading. The stress in the situation is de-escalating. I can greatly appreciate that. Yeah. So justice is being restored. Balance is being restored, actually, but justice. For some of you, this might be involving a court case or legal matters or contracts, but it feels like whatever has been either kerfuffled or stressed or getting no closure on is going to start to actually draw to its end. And it feels like even more so getting to that final part, even though this is de-escalating, that final part in getting closure on this is going to be in its own right very stressful. No matter how confidently you walk into this, healthy and positive stress is still stress, and it feels like this is more of an emotional challenge with you because you have all the solid ground evidence, you have all the materialistic needs of this. It's the emotional upset. So there's an emotional hang up that you have while finding some sort of equilibrium in here. And I think that it's important that you understand that I want you to have your healthy emotions, I do. But it almost looks like to get to the end of this, it's not living in your emotions. It's not making your decisions based on that. It's about seeing that the emotional state that this is putting you in is making you unclear, and it's actually providing impulsive movements with you, which I really don't want you to make an impulsive movement. It's going to kick you in the keister. This is saying rise above that. Disconnect from the emotional aspect of it if it's too dangerous for you right now, and intellectually connect to it. You can deal with the emotions after this. A lot of the times I tell you to follow your heart, and honestly, that's great for every situation, but right now with getting the closure on this, it's important to just get to the closure part, get it squared away, and then deal with the emotional healing that has to come after that. It's like not necessarily self-preservation. It feels like, okay, if I act on this right now, I'm not going to be able to get through this. It feels like that is kind of your emotional support. It feels like you have to be your own emotional support in this. I feel like others are around, but they can't emotionally connect and support you in this. It's, I think, them just ending up holding space for you because you have to make the active choice in this. You have all of the information you need in front of you. You have all the facts, you have all the figures, but also there's that emotional component that's overriding it. So really that's, you can't ignore the facts on this. Alrighty. So what I'm seeing here, I feel like something is coming to an abrupt end. And I think that it's this thing that you have to emotionally disconnect from. I think that you're defending your position on it because what's on the other side of this is unstable masculine energy that is ungrounded, and it's not overly protective, but it feels like it has no availability to either open up or show the vulnerability right now. It feels like it's in a way lying by omission to you. And I do feel like this is involving personal connections in your life, but I don't feel like it's necessarily romantic. It feels like this is I want to look a little bit more because it doesn't feel romantic. It feels more Yeah, somebody from the past. Again, it doesn't feel like this is romance, at least not now. Man. Something that you've been tied to. Yeah, getting over a toxic codependent situation in your life. This might be involving family or peers or colleagues even. A lot of you are leaving toxic work environments. A lot of you are leaving toxic family situations, either that or, you know, loving from afar or putting in the boundary. I totally get that. But what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of being forced to move on, but the emotional thing is feeling like you're abandoning something when you're not really abandoning it. It's just, it doesn't get to have all of that access to you. And I see that you are only really looking at it. Okay, so look at this. What's holding you in place, it doesn't have any real roots. And you know that there's nothing blocking you. And I also feel like it's part of you being afraid to not have this connection in your life. Something about it, it's familiar. A lot of people stick in toxic situations or similar toxic situations repetitively in their life because it is familiar. Familiar does not equate to healthy. And in fact, this feels like toxic. And not even just for you, all around in this, because you've been exploited, you have been taken advantage of, you have never been the actual choice in this. It's always been like, you know, what about when is it my turn? And it's other things that are being chosen ahead of you. So I see that there's been a final straw, and now it's coming in, charging in. It's like, you wanna? No more, no more. And I see that you, in order to save yourself, you are going to be looking out in a new direction. This is very, very important for you. You're not a bad person. You're actually a very charming person. I think that you're a very loving person, but something about this is making you feel extreme guilt. And that's even more reason to not be emotionally connected to it, because it plays off of the guilt in your life. All right. You're ready to shed that identity. This is huge introspection and judgment time. So you see a lot of things that are getting really ruffled up. A lot of either irate or snippiness kind of going on. Okay. Man, you're being really forced out of this, and it feels like you're independent and alone on this, but it's not really the case. You're seeing a lot of payoff. You're free is the main thing. It's not you being isolated. I need you to look at it of the way of you being free. This was a very painful cycle. And, you know, okay, so you're not doing it impulsively. There's a feeling that you're doing something impulsively when it's actually more passion than anything else. So just because you have either grown up in an environment and it was unstable, it was chaotic, or you have been living in a chaotic and unstable environment, it doesn't mean that it was okay. You have just adapted to it, which means that you probably were dealing with a lot of survival tactics, whether or not you realize it, because you are still in the scenario and it looks like your energy is being pulled out. When you are no longer in fight or flight and survival mode, man, is life different. Man, does everything look different. And does it ever feel different? Holy crap. When you don't have to fight anymore or be so defensive anymore, what the heck are you going to do with all your free time? And I'm seeing that is going to be like, okay, all right. Am I going to create chaos just because it's familiar? No, I actually really want to grow here. I really want to do something different. I really want to be intentional. I don't want to go back to that place anymore. I can't go back to that place anymore. It's too dark. It's too painful. It's too cold. And Spirit's like, listen, you don't need to keep going through, you know, awakenings and calling it progress. You've done all that you need to do. Now it's time to start living. It's really time for you to start living. So don't let yourself be played on the guilt. I'm still being pulled to this. So what is something that you need to look out for? Okay. Everything's in reverse right now. Flip and flap. I'm telling you what. All right. So upset masculine energy who was dealing with a karmic situation is going to reveal a lot of truth in how much they have needed you. This doesn't have to be romantic. Again, this is somebody around you. We all have feminine and masculine inside of us. We all have all of these energies. This is somebody who's close to you in some dynamic, is who benefited from your personality type and from having this sense of control over you or the situation or this continuation with you. They see that you are moving on, but they are not ready for you to move on. It's like their world is ending, but they're going to come to you with some real clear truth. And oh my God, is this going to be like the last Hail Mary for them? It's not going to work though. So don't let anyone play on your heartstrings. Don't let anyone mess with your head on this. Understand it for what it is. It is their last Hail Mary. It is the, oh my God, no! Too late. It's too late. All right, so what you have to look forward to is commitments of sorts. We have marriage and triumph. So really, who's the winner here? Say it louder for the people in back. Who's the winner? You's the winner. I said what I said. So listen, you have so much love in your heart, so much to give. You've been through such incredible emotional strains, and yet you still have the Divine Mother inside of you, pure, unconditional love. You have the ability to heal, to love, and to hold space for so many things. The thing is, you're going to realize in whatever this commitment is moving forward that first off, you won. You won because you got away and you stopped the emotional bleed out into whatever the heck the past situation was. That is amazing. And second off, you still have, despite all of your experience, this deep, unbridled compassion about you. And it feels like, okay, this is like the kind person who's been through absolute hell. You have the choice, the active choice. You know what you are capable of. You know what the depths are. And you also know that it doesn't have to be that way. You have made the commitment for better. Not always having to be for worse. Isn't that a trip? Just because, commitments talk about for better, for worse, it doesn't mean that it always has to be the dragging underneath everything worst. I see that you're going to be thriving, but you have to hold your boundary. You have to hold your line. You have to hold your standard and stop compromising that for people. Show people how to show up for you. And you know what? I think that you have been an exceptional example of it. It's just now you're going to actually not allow every person around you to be displaying that, because it's either going to be real or it's going to be false. And I think that you've experienced nothing but the falsehood of that, even though you wanted it so bad to be real. It wasn't. So now I'm being pulled to still saints and angels. Okay, so we got the sweetness coming in. Go listen to Jimmy Eat World, The Sweetness. Ooh. Okay. Why? Why? Reward. Stress management. Guess what? You don't have to be freaking out all the time. You don't have to be at your wit's end all the time. Who knew? Look deeper. Confidence. Higher education. It really blows my mind. Spirit was not going to let you continue on the path that you were going despite your stubbornness, because you are stubborn. To say you're stubborn is really an understatement. I'm not giving you crap. I love you dearly. I'm just as stubborn. Patience was not a virtue I was born with. It was something that was learned. And guess what? You learned it, didn't you? So guess what? You went through extreme hard lessons in life. Don't even bother comparing them to anybody. For you and your situation, your perspective, that was extreme. So, why did it happen? What was the deeper lesson in all of it? Look at your why in the lessons and what has occurred in your life. What did it teach you about yourself? You're not everyone's punching bag. It's yes, you're resilient, and I know you're sick of hearing that. But what it is life does not always have to be so hard. And when you say enough is when it is enough, and you have thrown the gloves off right now. I don't really see you ever putting them back on. You don't need to fight anymore. So the reward is divine guidance and care and exhilaration up ahead. You have been through the school of hard knocks, and it took you a lot to stay. I really feel like it did take you a lot to stay. And we have the confidence and the higher education. You have to know what your power is. And I really feel like you actually do know what your power is. So let's see. What is your power? Let's go with archetypes, shall we? All right, what is this? What stayed on the table? The Hermit's in reverse, withdraws from society. All right, refusing to help those in need. So that's the shadow work. Both Hermits are in reverse. Interesting. All right, conquering your fear of surviving. There was isolation, there was feelings of running away in your life, there was feeling of being completely alone in the world. You are perfectly fine in your own. You know your energy, you know what you're capable of, you know that you can adapt to any situation, you know that you can overcome. So really, there is not a soul on the planet who can actually hold that, abandonment issue over your head. Not one person. You want to go? Fine. Don't let the door hit you on your keister on your way out. I think that's really the attitude. Mess around and find out. See what's up. So you are here for a huge purpose. Thirst for wisdom wherever they are. I think that you are truly a strong individual, but you have divine purpose here. So strength, skill, and discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, self-sacrifice, conquering the ego. You have been broken down through the ego so many times that you have been obviously made humble, but also been incredibly empowered. So nobody gets to hold anything superficially against you, which when nobody can hold your skeletons, your story, or anything about you against you, that is the most scariest person on the planet, because that is a truly empowered person who knows what they are capable of in either direction and chooses the high road and chooses what seems to be either a higher self-greatness or a life greatness or both. So, let's see. The Messiah, man, you're here for a purpose. Serving humanity with humility. What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say? First off, you're an engineer. You have a solution for every problem. You've been dragged through the ringer. You have to get into the creative mind. You have a solution that is going to stop certain cycles and also help other people. So let's see. The child nature, and then I want this one, the priest. Facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel for spiritual energy, tendency to abuse animals, and the environment. So this is talking about, you know how when people say they're doing something for the greater good, you can almost bet that somebody's going to suffer. Nobody is going to suffer because you are doing something for your greater good. It's not that you're abandoning people, it's not that you're hurting people. So really, all of that gets wiped away. I really feel like this is a clean slate for you. So the final outcome of this and what you can look forward to when there's nothing holding you back, first off, you can actually sleep at night. You can be well rested. This is not all there is to life. Life gets so much more interesting. You're stepping into power and activism and also divine purpose. And this might involve another person around you. You guys are really working on a project together, a child. This is something that you get to put your focus on. And then we have play music. It's going to be very unique and special, and it's going to be something that grows and kind of builds through time. We lose the idea of perfection. It's only going to continuously grow and get better, but you have to practice and start somewhere. So do not expect everything to just, be hitting the ground and running on this. It's going to be step by step, which I see that's where the patience is coming in. And also, this is going to be something that serves more as time progresses. It's almost like a time release through spirit. And we have the Sun card, pure intentions and happiness. This is the happiest card of the deck. You do get the recognition that you deserve. You do have people looking up to you. You do have people following in your wake. And also you have this huge victory. So then we have this, the choice has been made, and let's see. You're cutting through all the BS. It's time for you to follow your true direction. I'm hearing geese fly south right now because it's snowing out, and I hear the cluster flying over. They're going exactly where they know that they need to go in order to not only survive but thrive, and that's what you are doing. And you have the death card. You are not dying, you are stepping into your true life, but you have to do it wholeheartedly. All right, we're over the karmic situation. And let's see, final card. You're over all the karma and you've let it go because it's not something that you want to carry. And it looks like you are rejecting their last Hail Mary and they're going to be left out in the cold. And you are going to work on healing because you know that there was no way that whatever it was, no matter how hard you worked on it, somebody wasn't telling the truth and it wasn't going to work out. So you are at a new beginning. And we have a lot of earth energy around this. So it's very grounded, it's focused, it's nurturing, it's caring, it's time released. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's something that you can really put all of your focus into. It's passion, it's caring. It's also the heart chakra healing. It's divine feminine completely encasing this. You're going to have your wits about you. And I see the romantic proposal coming through. So this is a true commitment that is coming in. But I see that it is done with the true intentions of the heart, and you're juggling a lot of things, but you're maintaining your balance. So this has been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for November 29th, 2021, also being timeless. Your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in-depth, and intense. So if you have questions about booking a session, reach out on the provided email address or find me on social platforms and send me a DM. Ask about services that I provide, what might be right for you. Time zones, pricing, scheduling, all that jazz. But I really look forward to meeting with you. I do hope that this finds you well. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Stay safe, have fun. Bye for now. Hey there, gorgeous. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. What do you need to know other than that I never light the incense in time? It's gonna become a thing, hasn't it? I don't know. Hang on. What do you need to know? Alright, check it. So, we're going to get a message from Saints and Angels. Weirdly feeling pulled to that, so let's see what we can come up with. Alrighty. If you found your amazing way across this, what do you need to know? I don't have enough cameras, so I'm shuffling like this. And it still seems to work. So you want to know what's up. Healthful eating. Great. So this is either about what you're allowing around you or, yeah, okay. Oy vey. Practice makes perfect. It's not fake until you make it. Stand up and face your fears and tell it to shut the H up. This is a time for optimism, but I feel like it's a hard time to have optimism. I feel like it's a hard time to stay confident. I think that a lot of our thought patterns are going back to what seems to be pessimistic or defeated. One of those two. That's absolutely what I'm feeling in this one. However, you should have confidence. What you have in front of you is so incredibly real and valid and worthwhile. So, I know that you're afraid. I know that you're either afraid of it being false or losing it completely, literally or figuratively. But I want you to know the only way that you're going to actually gain the confidence is continually putting the effort into that and seeing the payoff of it, showing up every single day for this and having that also meet you there. So if this is a person, it's seeing them meet up the same way that you are, putting in the same effort. If it's a situation, I think that it's more along the lines of you addressing it every single day and having it not fall through, and actually know that you are more than competent in handling this. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting for this. It's right and it's in place, it's in front of you, and I honestly feel like this is going to give you a huge sense of relaxation. So forgiveness, what are you forgiving? All right. Forgiving yourself, because you want to know what? You're not incompetent and you never were incompetent. You had to find a whole new tune. You've been singing off key for years. And I think that this is just what you've been taught. Forgive yourself for wasting time and effort in whatever people have trained you to be in the past when it was subpar to who you actually are. You're amazing. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message, and we're going to be getting it from Rider-Waite. Something is going the distance. Something is going the speed. Something is all alone in a time of need because he's erasing. Okay, so that might be me calling out the 90s. If you know, you know. Go ahead and look up what I just said, the lyrics. She's going the distance. Okay, anyway. All right, it's time for you to remain calm. There's no shortcuts on this. Stop trying to do shortcuts. Shortcuts do not exist with this. And I think that the effort being seen in the shortcuts is, one, you freaking out because you want to get to some result. And two, it's being slammed shut right in your face as you're attempting it, which is grossly frustrating. I got it. However, there's a reason. It's all time. It's all time. And actually, one of my friends wrote on my Facebook page the other day, actually yesterday, divine timing is a MFer. I think that was the verb, or the words that he used. Anyway, so that's what we're seeing here. You can't hurry this. You can't. You can't just dive into it. There are things that need to get in order. But it's actually going to go the distance. And then we have these. Okay, this is, I don't want to say it's partly your fault, but it almost feels like that because the regeneration's in reverse. You're living in the past or the future. You're not living in the now and getting the regeneration card upright. Now is scary, isn't it? To be in the moment. You want to cut to the good part and you remember the bad parts of the past. Something about the past isn't closed up yet and it is time to go. So part of the bypassing that you're trying to do is just be like, all right, the past is done, the past is gone. And Spirit is like, shut that H up. You need to feel this. You need to actually be in this right now. You have to feel, you have to emotionally connect to your feelings on this, not just intellectualize them. And you got to get closure on this. You're avoiding the emotional closure on it. And it's a pain. And I think that you're afraid of the emotional upheaval that this is going to cause. But to get where you are going and know that you are going to get there, you need to get this closure. Everything is waiting for you. Stop dragging your feet with it. I know it's so terrifying to emotionally connect to it and feel like that breaking feeling, or it's hard to close a door because you didn't know that it was still cracked and still watching and lingering in with you. What would it feel like if it were closed? Would it just be gone, like it didn't exist? No, but it allows you to move on. Well, if you're coming across this, chances are you need a mini message. I was responding to a message right now, and a card from the daily messages from your angels flipped over, and it was Twin Flame. And I was talking to a very specific person, which means that you have a very specific person. So what is this involving with Twin Flame, soul-based, romantic energies? It does feel very intimate. What do you need to know? Come on, out with it, out with it, out with it. Doo-doo. Sorry, I'm getting notifications as I'm recording this, which, why don't I ever put this on airplane mode? You just see me randomly tilting my head, smiling like a nerd. Okay, so past life issues with the Twin Flame are coming up right now. This might be repetitive cycles in their life that do not have any real rhyme or reason and that do not have any actual stronghold on them. But they're having a spiritual awakening right now, and they need to be very, very, very careful with what they're speaking into action. So you might have somebody very close to you who seems to be self-damaging right now, maybe passively, maybe this is a habit in their life, but I'm seeing that it's getting to the point of being unbearable for them, which for them, it looks like the undeniable closure and the undeniable irritation with it, which is really igniting some sort of a crown chakra awakening. Let's see, we have release and God box. There's a lot that they need to get closure on with this and cut cords from those past life situations. I do feel like there was a lot of karmic debt for this person who's close to you. And I feel like it's something that they could not personally outrun. And that's why it's been a theme in their life. So whoever this is, it may be you, but I definitely feel it's at least somebody who's intimately close to you. This is a really rough time for that person. So communication may have been really stressed between you guys recently. Just know that it doesn't have really anything to do with you. These are past life events and it's bleeding into this life. They are paying off the karma debt and it's completed, and now they're expecting even more so because it's been so continuous. Tell this person to, stop it with that mindset. This is not how life is supposed to be, and be very mindful of their thoughts. I know it's going to be very difficult because chances are they're incredibly stubborn, but then again, so are you, so I don't want to hear it. So, okay, it's about holding space for them and I guess showing them how they can cut cords to that, but also not dragging you emotionally underneath. So it's about holding space for yourself as well. And it's about, I guess, working on your stressors together. So, yeah, this is what I'm getting from it. It's going to be challenging for a bit, but well worth it. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. I'm being pulled to the Queen of the Moon Oracle. We need to talk about what's freaking you out right now. Okay, so if you stumble across this might be a message for you or for somebody who's close to you. If it makes sense, I hope it's good. If it provides challenges, then we're going to provide the reason why and what you have to look forward to. Patience, self-love, fear. Ooh. The unexpected. Will and beauty. That's all I'm being pulled to right now. It looks like you're afraid of, well, first off, there's a few things. It looks like you're afraid of doing something good for yourself, but also you're not sure what even good for yourself even looks like right now. And I think that this is just you doing not only what's expected of you, but also fitting into people's very small boxes. Your success is not their success or the vision of success. So you are really going through an emotionally strained time, it looks like, and pulling away from unexpected people in your life. I think that this is, while hard, very important because there's been a huge influence from those energies around you. And I think that you have really wanted to show up for these connections. And I think that you've made an extreme amount of effort to, I guess, provide them with what they're looking for. I feel like it wasn't necessarily mutual because I feel like on their side it was a little bit more of entitlement, like they have done so much to be on some sort of tier or level, something like that, and it's like you looking up to them and wanting to make them proud. And it doesn't matter what the dynamic is in this, it's just somebody who you greatly admire and look up to and really saw as an authority figure in your life. So what I'm seeing is unexpected pull away from those energies and afraid of what that actually means about you. It means that energetically you have outgrown that particular situation and you're starting to see the beauty in your raw, authentic self, which I think is also unnerving because I don't think that you've actively fully tapped into this resource before. So you are following what feels really good and natural, even more so now for you. And this is a huge act of self-care and love that is really showing your genuine beauty and strengths through and through on this. I don't think that you will be ghosting these people and these energies in your life, but they are not going to have such a strong hold and influence on you. So you are genuinely stepping into your own power and discovering what your own will is. And this is going to have unexpected emotional, mental, and spiritual growth spurts. And it's going to make you uncomfortable for a bit, but it's also going to break a lot of ground and have potential for, I think, some sort of door opening up, a lot of abundance coming in, materialistic, emotional, and spiritual. Cool. All right, if you find your way across this, we're going to be getting a mini message from the Rider-Waite deck. So listen with an open heart and an open mind. Let's see what brings you here. Oh, you're getting a proposal of sorts. I'm not sure. It's definitely emotional. It's definitely something that you didn't expect to be in your cup. And the fish is pretty abundant. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good. It has good things about it. I feel good things with the fish. We have the Lovers underneath. That is very nice. So this is going to be going with the intimate circles and the choice. Gemini energy, actually. Geminis are so multifaceted. It's ridiculous. They can put all their focus and energy on one thing and then pull out immediately and be completely focused. They have like so many things going on at once, so many choices, but all in on all of them. How does that even make sense? So there's something that you want to be all in on that you didn't expect to be so abundantly in your cup, and I think that it's catching you off guard. But it has masculine energy that you are kind of embracing and looking at it. So it's like, do I want this? This is good. I'm liking this. Do I want it though? I don't know. Oh crap. Yeah, you want it. That's Temperance. It's slow and steady wins the race, but it's also soulmate energy. So yeah, this is better than expected. Life is like, you wanna know what? You've been dealing with some crap, haven't you? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Yuletide, you know, whatever works for you. This is a gift from Spirit. Enjoy and embrace it. You made the right choice. It is, well, you made the right choices to get to this point. No matter how it has turned out in the past, it's all brought you to this glorious point now, hasn't it? Take your time. Ooh. There is nothing that is holding you to this. And honestly, it feels like, okay, it feels like there is no choice to be made, but the choice has already been made. So it's like you being all in on something. And honestly, I see you climbing on your throne with that. So this, hold on one sec. Yeah. Honey, I'm recording.
Oh, I didn't know.
The heck he didn't know. I totally told him a little bit ago. He's just being a schmoops. I love my babies. Little stinkers. All right, so look, you're rising above the challenge of this. You're rising above this with all the information. So I think that you're really facing your fear and knowing what absolute freedom, choice, and divine partnerships really look like. So this is a huge gift. Take your time, embrace it, and walk fully into this with a confident heart. Hey, if you found your way across this, we're going to be getting a message from Rider-Waite. Wishes are coming true. What brings you here? You're getting away from something. Yeah. You're ready to move on, and you all know what? You should be so lucky that you are getting away from this. I do think that it's been a long time coming for you, and it looks like you have the victory over others. So, you want to know what? You have recognized what your strengths and tools are, and I think that you can use them to the best of your ability. And also what I'm seeing in this is the people who had benefited from you in the past, they are left to their own devices. Them being enabled or leeching off of you in such a way, they're going to be, I think, the most at a disadvantage of this. They should have been learning how to stand on their own, and yet they were taking advantage of the situation with you, which I think that you have begun to realize, and you're pulling back your energy to keep your head above water because you saw that you were being taken advantage of. I think that you're a very giving person with a lot of, there's a lot of positive qualities about you. But the moment that you see somebody taking advantage, you first off are incredibly insulted and hurt because how can somebody take advantage of a good nature or something that has the best intentions? And then second off, it's not like you're out for blood, but you're gonna let people know that they effed up. You're gonna let them sit there and starve until they get their crap together. So what I really love about this is you're on a whole new path. And judgment is being made, and it's not having you suffer, it's having what stems from you and that was leeching off of you suffer in its own way. Not to a detriment, but enough to wake it up. So this feels actually really good. You are ready to shed this identity of having to be the answer, end all be all for everybody. You are not going to be the go-to and the necessity that people can pull from on here. So you're ending a very painful cycle, which you feel like you were not enough for, I think, these particular energies. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, there might be a sense of loss that is going on right now, some opportunities closing off, but it's actually something where you didn't have a choice in those particular situations, and now you are making the choice to actually go spend your energies and efforts elsewhere that are going to be appreciated. I think that you are very charming. I think that you're clever. I think that you're very adaptable as a person. I think that what you're stepping into is going to actually cut you out of this emotional purgatory that you have felt from this situation that took a lot of advantage of you. So you're free and you're going to grow from it. And those people who were kind of taking advantage of you, they're going to have a quick schooling on this.